In this session, first we will start the discussion of the adjoint matrix and how to obtain the adjoint matrix based on the minus and cofactors. First, when we are discussing about the adjoint matrix, first we'll see what is actually meant by the adjoint matrix. Adjoint matrix is a matrix. We can obtain it by taking the transpose of the matrix, including cofactors. Therefore, if you can obtain the cofactors of a particular given particular square matrix, then once you write down or once you obtain the transpose of the matrix which includes the cofactors, then such matrix is said to be an adjoint matrix. When we are going to obtain the adjoint matrix, I told that it is a matrix including cofactors. Therefore, prior to obtain the adjoint matrix, we have to identify what is actually meant by these cofactors. Therefore, now we will have a look about the minus and the cofactors of a square matrix. First, we will discuss about minus and cofactors of a square matrix. Suppose that let A is a square matrix, and if you are considering the entry Aij, suppose that it is quite in this way. Suppose that you are having a matrix. Say this is the matrix A, then we can say matrix A has in this form. This A11, A12, likewise A1M, then A21, A22, likewise A2M. Since this is square matrix, here also we'll get this AM1. M number of rows and columns would be there. Similarly, AMM. Therefore, if you are considering this matrix, then the general form of any element inside this matrix A can be written as the entry Aij. Therefore, this is said to be what we have done previously. I stands for row number and J stands for column number. Therefore, if you are considering a particular element Aij, then this will associate with a thing called the minor, what we are naming as Mij. Therefore, for each Aij element, it will have a minor which we are naming as Mij. Therefore, each Aij element associated with a minor which is denoted by Mij. And when we are obtaining the minor Mij for the entry Aij, it can be taken by obtaining the determinant of the matrix, obtaining by the deleting the ith row and jth column of the matrix A. It is quite simple in this form. Suppose that if you need to obtain the minor for this A12, suppose that you need to obtain the minor for this element, then what we have to do is we have to eliminate the row and the column associated with the element we are selected, and then we have to take the determinant of the remaining element of this matrix. This is how we are obtaining the minus for a matrix or for each element. So in using this similar manner or using the similar way, we have to obtain the minus for each and every element which is shown in the given matrix. After obtaining the minus, then we can simply obtain the cofactors for this entry Aij by using this equation. Here this Cij denotes the cofactor for the entry Aij. This can be obtained by using this equation where Cij equals minus 1 to the power I plus j into Mij, where Mij was defined as the minor for the entry Aij. Therefore, using this equation, we can obtain the cofactors. Now, we'll discuss a small example regarding obtaining the minors. obtaining the minus. Suppose that A is given as a matrix A1, B1, C1. It is a 3 by 3 matrix. And if we are going to identify the minor for A1, for this single element, we are going to identify the minor. Therefore, what we have to do is, for this element, since we need to identify the minor, we need to eliminate the row and the column associated with the value. Therefore, the remaining elements are B2, C2, B3 and C3. Then to obtain the minor for A1, what we have to do is we have to take the determinant of the remaining elements. Therefore, what we can say is the minor for A1 is equal to determinant of B2, C2, B3 and C3. And suppose that if you need to obtain the minor for B2, suppose you need to obtain the minor for B2, then what we have to do is we need to eliminate the row and column associated with B2. Therefore, once you cut off the row and column, then we know that the remaining elements are A1, C1, A3 and C3. Therefore, here this should be corrected as A1. This should be A1, C1, A3 and C3. It is because we have to omit or eliminate the row and column associated with P2, and for the remaining elements we have to take the determinant. This is how we are obtaining the minus. Now we can see that here I have just included the obtaining minor for two elements only. Since we are having since we are having 9 elements, then we should have 9 minus 9 minus for this matrix. And we know that based on minus we are obtaining the cofactors. Since we are having 9 minus, then there should be 9 cofactors as well. There should be 9 cofactors as well. Okay, when we are going to obtain this cofactor Cij, I told that we can use the equation which is defined by cofactor ij equals minus 1 to the power I plus j into this minor mij. But apart from using this equation, we tend to use, instead of this minus 1 to the power I plus j, we are replacing this by the sign pattern instead of using this equation. Therefore, what we are going to do is we are introducing new concept called the sign pattern. Therefore, if you are considering the sign pattern here, the sign pattern is starting from plus sign. Therefore, for a 3 by 3 matrix, we can identify the sign pattern in this way. Always there cannot be two similar signs in the consecutive points. Therefore, plus minus with plus, then this should be minus, plus with plus, then plus minus and plus. Therefore, this is the sign pattern what we are taking for a 3 by 3 matrix. Then for a 4 by 4 matrix, we can extend the same concept. It is plus and minus. Then here it is starting from plus and minuses, plus and minus. Therefore, this can be considered as the sign pattern for a 4 by 4 matrix. Now what we can do is to obtain the cofactors. To obtain the cofactors, we can combine the sign pattern with the minus that we have obtained previously. Therefore, now what we can do is to obtain the cofactors. To obtain the cofactors, what we can do is we have to combine sign pattern with sign pattern and what we are saying as and the minus obtain. Now what we know is we have already identified 9 minus for 9 elements which are naming as M11, M12, This is the way that we are writing down the minus, which is because for the first row, first column element, we have identified the minus and named it as M11. Now what we have to do is we have to combine the minus with sign pattern. Since this is a 3 by 3 matrix, what we can do is we can use the sign pattern which is suitable for 3 by 3. Then instead of this, what we can do is now I can write down the sign pattern. Therefore, this would be plus, minus, minus, and plus. Therefore, this is how we are obtaining, we are combining the sign pattern with the minus obtained, and this is said to be the matrix which includes the cofactors. Therefore, this will be equal. This will be fitness, or this can be say this is equal to C11, C12, C13, 21, 22, and 23, 31, 32, and 2. Therefore, this is what we are saying as the matrix which includes the cofactors. Therefore, the C11 is plus times M11, C12 is minus times M12, C13 is plus times M13. Likewise, C33 is equal to plus times M33. Therefore, this is the way that we are obtaining the cofactors by combining the sign pattern with the minus that we have obtained. Now, here this is the way for a 4 by 4 matrix. Then here it is mentioned that if the minus are given, then we have to combine it with the sign pattern, and then this can be again say as the cofactor matrix for 4 by 4 matrix. Now, this is actually the thing that I need to discuss under minus and cofactors. Now you all know that how to obtain minus and cofactors. Once you obtain the matrix which includes the cofactors, then what we can do is we can simply say we can take the transpose of this matrix. If you take the transpose of this matrix, it will be named as the adjoint of the given adjoint of the considered matrix. Now we will discuss an example which is related for obtaining a joint matrix by taking the minus and cofactors, and here it is asked to obtain the adjoint matrix for matrix A, where matrix A is equal to 0, 2, 1, 3, minus 1, 2, 4, 0, and 1, which is named as a 3 by 3 matrix. Here we can say that A is a 3 by 3 matrix. Therefore, here what we are asked to do is obtain the adjoint matrix, and we are writing the adjoint matrix using this notation. Here it is adjoint of matrix A, and this can be obtained to obtain this adjoint matrix. At the first stage, what we have to do is first we need to obtain the minus. Then what we have to do is we have to obtain the sign pattern, and as the third one, what we have to do is we have to obtain the cofactors. To obtain the cofactors, what we can do is we can combine the sign pattern with minus, and for the fourth one we have to take the transpose of the matrix which includes the cofactors. Therefore, these are the four steps that we need to follow to obtain the adjoint of a matrix. Now we can take this as to find the minus M11. What we have to do is we have to delete the first row and first column of the matrix, and then we have to take the determinant of the remaining elements. Therefore, if you are considering the first matrix, here I will show you the calculation below. The matrix is given in this form. Matrix is given as A equals 0 to 1. It says that matrix A is equals to 0, 2 and 1. Matrix B is given, the second row is given as 3 minus 1, 2. And it is 3 minus 1 and 2. And third row is given as 4, 0 and 1. Third row is given as 4, 0 and 1. Now what we are asked to do is we are asked to obtain the adjoint of this matrix. This is what we need to do. To obtain this, what we need to do, first we have to take the minus, then we have to consider sign pattern. By combining the first and second step, we can obtain the cofactors, and then we have to take the transpose of the matrix including the cofactors. These are the four steps that we need to follow. Okay, now we'll see how we have to obtain, how we can obtain the minus for this matrix. As we know that since there are 9 elements, there should be 9 minus. Therefore, first minus is named as M11. This can be taken in this form. Suppose that it's quite in this way. Suppose this is the element that you need to consider. It is 0. It is the first row, first column element. Now you have to cut down the row and column associated with this. Then we can see the elements remaining are minus 1, 2, 0 and 1. Elements are minus 1, 2, 0 and 1. Minus 1, 2, 0 and 1. Therefore, what we have to do is we have to take the determinant of the remaining elements. If you perform the calculation, it is minus 1 2 times 1, minus 1, minus 0, which gives the value as minus 1. Then we have to take it for M12. Then M12 in the sense the value is 2 here. Then we have to cut down the first row and the second column. And if you write down the remaining elements, it would be 3, 2, 4 and 1. If you take the difference of the products of these diagonals, then we can take it as 3 times 1 minus 4 times 2, which itself equals to the value as minus 5. Similarly, we can obtain it for M13. First row with third column, first row and third column has to be cut down. Then 3 minus 1, 4 and 0 is considered. 0 minus minus 4, which equals to plus 4. This is taken as plus 4. Then M21, second row with first column. If you cut down here, the element is 3, then you have to cut down the second row with first column. Therefore, the remaining elements would be 2, 1, 0, 1. This leads to the value as 2 minus 0, which equals to the value as plus 2. Then M22, if you perform the similar manner, then you will get the remaining elements as 0, 1, 4 and 1. Second row cut down with second column, 0, 1, 4, 1. Then you will get this as 4 minus 0, which equals to plus 4. M23, second row with third column. Then we'll get this as 0, 2 with 4 and 0. This equals to 0 minus 4 times 2 is minus 8. Value is minus 8. Then similar manner we can obtain it for M31. M31, first row and third row cut down, then 2, 1, minus 1 and 2, 4 minus 1, self equal to plus 5. M3 to third row with second column cuts off 0, 1, 3 and 2 is taken, 0 minus 3 is minus 3. M3, 3, third row with third column 0, 2, 3 and minus 1, 0 minus 6 is equal to minus. This is how we are obtaining the minus. Therefore, if I write down the list of set of minus that we have obtained inside the matrix for the easiness of the calculation, I will get this as minus 1, minus 5, plus 4, then 2, 4 and minus 8, 5, minus 3 and minus 6. Here there is the mistake. It should be corrected as 0 minus 4. We have to correct this. If minus 0 minus 4. So this is the matrix which includes the minus. We can say it is matrix include this mij's. Then what we can do is we can now combine or we can identify the sign pattern for 3 by 3 matrix. We know that for 3 by 3 matrix, we know that the sign pattern this is started from plus, then this will be plus minus and plus. Now what we have to do is we have to combine the minus with the sign pattern. Now to obtain the matrix including cofactors, then we can say the Cij values can be written inside the matrix. Cij first value was it is plus times we are having this value as minus 1. It is plus times minus 1. The first sign is for the sign obtained from this sign pattern, and here we'll get this minus sign just because we are having the value here is minus. Then we can take it the value as minus 5 just because we can see that the value here is equal to minus 5. Then it is plus times 4. Then you can say it is minus times 2, plus times minus 4, minus times minus 8, plus times 5, minus times minus 3, plus times minus. And this leads to obtain the cofactor matrix. Here we'll get the values as minus 1, plus 5, plus 4, minus 2, minus 4 and plus 8, plus 5, plus 3 and this is what we can say as the matrix which includes the cofactors. Now what we have to do is to obtain the adjoint matrix. To obtain the adjoint matrix for A, what we need to do is we have to take the transpose of this matrix. To obtain the transpose of this matrix, we can write it in this way first. Minus 1 and 4, minus 2, minus 4 and 8 is here. 5, 3 and minus 6, and then we have to take the transpose of this matrix. Then we can write the transpose matrix minus 1, 5 and 4. Then we can take it is minus 2, minus 4 and 8. Then 5, 3 and minus 4. This is how we are taking the adjoint of the matrix A, and this can be taken as a 3 by 3 matrix. Therefore, once you have obtained the adjoint of a square matrix, it would be same as the dimension would be same as the initial matrix. Here also we can see that the values are given, and these are the obtained values. Then there is an exercise given. You can try it by yourselves. And now I will move for the next part. It is the obtaining the inverse of a matrix. When you are going to obtain the inverse of a matrix, there are several methods that we can use. It means that according to the dimension of the matrix that we are going to identify the inverse of that matrix, then there are some different methods we attempt to use. Suppose that A is a square matrix having a number of rows and a number of columns, and I is supposed to be a, it is actually, you can say it as IN. IN is supposed to be a matrix having a number of rows and a number of columns, which is said to be a identity matrix, which is an identity matrix. Then if it says that if there exists a matrix A inverse, it means that A inverse may not be exist for some matrices. There are some possibilities of the not existing of this inverse matrix. Therefore, if it says that if there exists a matrix which is said as A inverse, then this equality has to be satisfied. The equality is given as A times A inverse is equal to matrix I, or else we can say it as A inverse times A equals to matrix I. When I am discussing about the matrix multiplications, I told you that in generally AB does not equals to BA. But once you see about this equality, we can say that A inverse A times A inverse equal to A inverse times A. Suppose that this A inverse is the matrix B, but in this situation A times B is equal to B times A. This is what we have observed as the equality. Therefore, in generally for the matrix multiplication, this inequality is satisfied, but if B is said to be the inverse of this matrix A, then we can identify the equality as well. Therefore, we can say that A inverse is called as the inverse of the matrix A. Here, if it is suggested that A is n by n matrix, suppose that A is n by n matrix, and then we can say that A inverse is also a n by n matrix. And once you perform this multiplication, you will definitely get an identity matrix which is having the order as n. That is why we can say it as IN, where I is an identity matrix having the order n. When we are going to find in the inverse of matrix, first we need to check whether inverse exists or not. If a matrix has the inverse, then such matrix is said to be a invertible matrix, or we are saying it as a non-singular matrix. Suppose that if a matrix has an inverse, we are saying such matrix as invertible, or simply we are saying it as non-singular matrix. Otherwise, we are saying it means that if a matrix does not owe an inverse, then we are saying such matrix as a non-invertible matrix, or we simply say it as a singular matrix. If it is a non-invertible, matrix, then it is you can say if for non-invertible matrices cannot have an inverse. Therefore, it should be, it is not non-singular. If the matrix is singular matrix, then it cannot be have an inverse. First, we'll see how we can use the equality provided to identify the inverse of a matrix. And the next important thing is here I have mentioned that if A is in the order n by n, then A inverse also should be in the order of n by n. Okay, now using those concepts that we have discussed previously, we'll see how we can find out the inverse of this given matrix. Here matrix A is given as 1, 4, -1 and -3. Therefore, what we know is if it is for 2 by 2 matrix, then A inverse should be also a 2 by 2 matrix. A and A inverse should be in the same mode. Therefore, what we can do is still we do not know what are the values. Therefore, instead of the values, we will use the letters as A, B, C, and D. And now what we need to do is we need to identify what are the values suitable for the assigned letters. Therefore, what we can do is we can use the equality. To use this equality, we need to have this identity matrix. I am directly writing it as I2. It is because we know that the order of the matrix is 2 by 2. Therefore, it should be equal to an identity matrix having the order 2. Therefore, this can be taken as 1, 0, 0, and 1, and this should be also a 2 by 2. Therefore, this is how we are identifying the A inverse, and I2. But still, we do not know the value of A inverse values. Instead of the values, we have just used the letters. Therefore, here I have write down the multiplication. A times A inverse equal to I, or else if you need, you can interchange these two, or else if you need, you can interchange these two. Uh, it is because the inverse and matrix and its inverse multiply when you are multiplying, their order is not important. Then we can interchange those two places as well. Once you do the multiplication, you will get the matrix in this way. Elements are A plus 4C, B plus 4D, minus A minus 3C, minus B minus 3D. Therefore, this is what we are getting for the left hand side of this multiplication, and for the right hand side of the multiplication, we can have the values as 1, 0, 0, and 1. Therefore, now we need to identify the values, but there are 4 unknown values which we have used here. Therefore, what we can use is we can use the concept of equal matrices. Here we can see the equality exists. It suggests that the number of rows are equal and number of columns are equal for the matrix existing left hand side as well as in the right hand side. Therefore, what we can do is now we can equate the corresponding elements. Therefore, by equating the corresponding elements, we can obtain 4 equations in this way. Here I have equate the first element here. It is A plus 4C. I told that it is equal to 1. Then B plus 4D equal to 0. Using the similar concept, I have obtained 4 equations. We need to use 4 linear simultaneous equations. It is because we are having 4 unknown constants. Still there are 4 unknown constants. Therefore we need 4 linear simultaneous equations. We need 4 linear simultaneous equations. By solving these 4 linear simultaneous equations, we can obtain, or we can obtain the values for the unknown constant. Therefore, the solving of these 4 linear equations gives us the value for A, B, C, and D in this way. Therefore, it is given as A equals -3, B equals -4, C equals 1, and D equals 1. What we have identified was A inverse is consist of these 4 elements A, B, C, and D. Therefore, we can write down the elements. A is minus 3, B is minus 4, C is 1, and D is equal to 1. Therefore, this can be considered as the inverse matrix of the given matrix A. This is how we are observing or we are identifying the inverse of a matrix. Since we had four elements, what we have to use is, since we are having four elements, then we had to use four equations. But if you try to do it for 3 by 3 matrix, if it is since this is a 2 by 2 matrix, we had four elements. But if you are having it as a 3 by 3 matrix, then there should be altogether 9 elements. It means that 9 are non-constants. To solve or to obtain the values for these 9 elements, we need to use the 9 equations. We need to use the 9 equations. But this calculation would be much more lengthy. Therefore, we have to find out an alternative method instead of using the fundamental concept to obtain the inverse of the matrix. Therefore, even though it is a 2 by 2 matrix, we are not tempted to use this lengthy calculation. Therefore, we are using a formula for calculating the inverse for 2 by 2 or 3 by 3 or any higher order matrices. Therefore, first we will take it for a 2 by 2 matrix. Therefore, many people are used to use the formula instead of using the linear equation form or using the fundamental. We used to use the formula to find out the inverse. Therefore, when we need to find out the inverse of a 2 by 2 matrix, then we can obtain it using this way. Therefore, first what we have to is, if you are using this formula, as the first thing we need to obtain the determinant of the given matrix, and thereafter we have to write down the elements in the appropriate places. Then if it is a 2 by 2 matrix, suppose that if it is given as matrix A, suppose this is the matrix what we are having is A, B, C, and D, then we can take the inverse. To take the inverse, as the first thing, what I told is we have to take the determinant. This can be obtained by taking the difference of the products of the diagonal elements. Then this should be equal to AD minus BC. Determinant can be obtained using taking the difference of the product of the diagonal elements. Then this can be written out. Here we can use this formula. A inverse is equal to 1 over AD minus BC, 1 over AD minus BC, where AD minus BC itself equals to the determinant of the matrix. Then what we have to do is, we have to in here we have the elements in the order A, B, C, and D. First, what we need to do is we have to interchange the elements in the main diagonal. A and B has to be interchanged. Then we can see it as B and A, and the other elements has to be multiplied with minus sign. Therefore, this is how we are obtaining the inverse of a matrix using inverse of a 2 by 2 matrix. And this is the next important thing. We are not going to use this method to identify or obtain the inverse of the higher order matrices. Therefore, we will use this as a method which we can easily use for obtaining the inverse of 2 by 2 matrix. Instead of using this lengthy equation, what we can do is we can take this as the adjoint of matrix A, and remaining elements can be taken as B and A in these two places, minus B and minus C are used here. Now we'll see how we can obtain the inverse. To identify or to obtain the inverse, we can take this as for this 2 by 2 matrix. Matrix A is given as 3 minus 1 minus 2 and plus 2. To obtain the inverse, first we need to take the determinant of this matrix. 3 times 2, it is 6 minus 2 times minus 1, it is plus 2. Then this equals to plus 2. Therefore, in general, we are saying that if the determinant is not equal to 0, we can obtain or we can simply say the A inverse exists. It means that here we are using the determinant in the denominator of the division or this fraction. That is why we have to say that this A or the determinant of A cannot be equal to 0. If this value becomes 0, then this will goes to infinity. Therefore, we can say that A inverse does not exist. But in this situation, we can see that this does not equal to value 0. Therefore, we can say that A inverse exists. Then what we can do is to identify the A inverse. First, we are dividing this by which is 1 over 8. 8 is 1 over 4. Where 4 is the determinant of the matrix. Then what we have to do is we have to interchange the diagonal elements and then multiply the other elements by minus 1. Then this would be plus 1. This would be plus 2. Therefore, we will get this as half, 1/4, half, and this is how we are obtaining the inverse of the matrix. But if I take the last example given here, in here this if I take the last example, here it is given as matrix D is given as 4, 3, 8, and 6. Therefore, what we need to do is to obtain the D inverse. First, we need to take the determinant of matrix D. It is 4 times 6 minus 8 times 3, again 24. This equals to 0. Therefore, we can say that since this determinant is not equal to 0, we can say that D inverse does not exist. It is because you can see that if this determinant becomes 0, then you will get this as 1 over 0 times the matrix. Therefore, this cannot be exist. It is because of this 1 divided by 0. That is why we are saying that if the determinant is equal to 0, then inverse does not exist. Such matrices are said to be non-invertible or singular matrix. Therefore, we can extend this concept for higher order matrices. Therefore, for any n by n matrix, we can obtain the inverse by using this equation. Therefore, to obtain the inverse of any higher order matrix, then this can be taken by taking the ratio of adjoint matrix to the determinant of the matrix. Therefore, to obtain the inverse, first we need to obtain the adjoint matrix, and then we have to divide it by the determinant. Therefore, when we are going to identify or obtain the inverse of matrix, we are first obtaining the determinant of the matrix. We have as the first thing what we are obtaining the determinant of matrix. If this equals 0, then we can say that A inverse does not exist. But if this does not equal to 0, if the determinant A does not equal to 0, then we have to follow the following procedure. In here, as the next step, it is the second step. If this determinant does not equal to 0, then you have to obtain the minus. Then you have to identify the appropriate sign pattern. Then combine with the minus. Then we can obtain the cofactors. Then we have to take the transpose of the matrix, and this leads us to obtain the adjoint of the matrix A. Then as the next step, what we can do is we can use the equation A inverse equals to the adjoint of matrix A divided by the determinant of the matrix. Therefore, these are the calculation steps of obtaining the inverse for a matrix. Now we will go through this example here. Finding the inverse of this matrix. First, we have to identify the determinant. To identify the determinant, what we can do is first we are writing down the first row, first column element. It is 1. This can be written as 1 times. Then we have to cut down the row and column. Therefore, we have to take the diagonal products of these elements. Then we'll get it as 0 minus 2. Then the next value is connected by minus sign. Then it will taken as minus times minus 1. Now we have to omit the row and column. It is the then it is first row and second column. Therefore, the product gives the value as minus 3 minus minus 6. Then it is becoming plus 6. Then third term connected with plus sign. Then it is 0 times minus 2 minus 0. Ultimately, this part becomes 0. It is because it is multiplied with 0. Therefore, this remaining calculation gives us the value as 1. Since we know that 1 is not equal to 0, then we can say that A inverse exists. A inverse exists. Since we have satisfied this condition, determinant of A does not equal to 0, then we have to obtain the joint of the matrix A to identify the inverse. It is because A inverse exists. Here I have you directly use the calculation to obtain the cofactors. What we have to do is first we need to obtain minus, and then for a 3 by 3 matrix, sign pattern can be defined as plus minus plus, minus plus and minus, plus minus and plus. By combining the minus with sign pattern, we can obtain the cofactors. Therefore, the way of obtaining cofactors is mentioned here, and the values obtained for cofactors are mentioned down here. Now what we have to do is we have to take the transpose of this matrix to obtain the adjoint matrix. Therefore, in this calculation, you can see that the adjoint matrix is obtained as minus 2 minus 3 1, minus 3 minus 3 1, minus 2 minus 4 and 1. Then we have to use the equation to obtain the A inverse. A inverse can be taken as the adjoint of the matrix divided by the determinant of the matrix. Therefore, rather than using this division, we tend to use it as multiplication. Therefore, we will take this as 1 over the determinant. Here we know that determinant is taken as a real number. Therefore, it is multiplied with the adjoint of the matrix. Therefore, this part can be directly considered as a scalar. Therefore, it is multiplied with the adjoint of this matrix A. It is multiplied with the adjoint of the matrix A. Therefore, this multiplication shows in here. Here it is 1 is the value that I have written here. Then determinant of the considered matrix was equal to 1. Therefore, simply we are getting a value as 1 by 1 divided by 1, then multiply it with the adjoint of the matrix. Here it is given as the adjoint matrix. Therefore, this is the way that we are obtaining the inverse of this matrix. Therefore, in this way we can obtain the inverse of the matrix. Now, there is another exercise given here to find out the inverse of the matrix. Therefore, we'll try to do it now. If I write down the values here, the matrix A is given as, these are 3 by 3 matrix. Matrix A is given as 3, 2, minus 1. Then 0, 4, and minus 6. And then 2 minus 1 and 2 minus 1. Here you are asked to find out here what we need to do is we need to identify what is actually meant by this, what is the value of this A inverse. To calculate this A inverse, first we need to take the determinant of this matrix. Therefore, we'll write it in here. It is now 3 times. If I cut down the row and column, then it will be 12 minus, it is minus 1 to minus 6, it is plus 6. Then connected with minus sign, then it is 2 times, values would be 0, minus, minus 2. Then it is plus times minus 1, then we get the value as 0, minus 8. Therefore, once we perform the calculation, it is 3 times 6 minus 2 times 12 minus 1 times minus. This leads to value as it is plus 18 here, then minus 24 is here, and then again plus 8 is here. Therefore, it is we will get the value as 18 plus 8, it is 26 minus 24 leads to the value as plus 2. Therefore, we can consider that the determinant of A equals to, which is different from 0. Therefore, we can say that A inverse exists. We can say that A inverse exists. Since the A inverse exists, what we need to do is we can now find. What we need to do is we have to now find out the adjoint of the matrix. Therefore, if I write down the calculation here, first we need to take the minus M11, M12, therefore, we can take the value for the first column element, then 3 is cut off, first row and first column cut off, then uh, 12 minus 6 is here, value is 6. Then M12 can be taken as first row with second column cuts off, then 0 minus 12, value is plus 2. Then first row with third column, then you'll get 0 minus 8 minus. Then M21, second row with first column, then 6 minus 1, M22, 9 minus minus 2, value is 11. Then M23, second row with third column. Then it is minus 3 minus 4, value is minus 7. Then M31, third row with first column, third row with first column cuts off. Then we'll get it as minus 12, minus 4, it is minus 16. Then M32, M32, third row with second column, there we get it as minus 18, minus 0, value is minus 18. M33, third row cuts off with third column, then we'll get it as 12 minus 0, value is plus 2. For a 2 by 2 matrix, we know that the sign pattern is defined as plus minus plus minus plus minus plus minus sign plus. Therefore, we can combine the minus with the sign pattern. Therefore, we can obtain the cofactors simply. C11 plus times 6 is 6. C12 minus 12. C13 plus times minus 8. C21 minus times 5. C22 plus times 11. C23 minus times minus 7 becomes plus 7. Then C13, so C31, it is plus times minus. C32 minus times minus, it is plus 18. C33 itself equal to plus times plus 12, then it equals to plus 2. Therefore, now what we can do is, now hereafter we can go for the calculation of the adjoint of the matrix A. We can write down the values and take its transpose. And we have to take the transpose of these two. It is simply the transpose of the cofactor matrix. Therefore, I can take the values in this way. Here it is 6 minus 12 minus 8 minus 5, 11 and 7 minus 16 plus 18. Therefore, this is what we can take as the adjoint of the matrix. Therefore, we can consider the inverse of the matrix A. It is simply adjoint of the matrix divided by the determinant of the matrix. We have already identified the determinant of the matrix as it is 2. Therefore, this can be taken as 1 over 2 times then 6 minus 5 minus 16 minus 12, 11 and 18 minus 8, 7 and 1. Therefore, once you perform this calculation, we can simply take the A inverse equals to 6 divided by 2, it is 3. Here it is minus 5 divided by 2. Then value is minus 8, minus 6, 11 divided by 2, 9, minus 4, 7 divided by 2, and 6. This is a 3 by 3 matrix. And this is how we are obtaining the inverse for a 3 by 3 matrix. And this is all what I need to discuss for this session. And thank you all for participating with this session.